Solid, that's how Bidcorp described its annual performance. The group says it weathered a challenging trading environment and still managed to deliver a 4.3% rise in revenue. Headline earnings per share came in nearly 7% higher. Bidcorp's pointed to a strong showing by its European businesses along with an excellent performance from its South African operations. It added that other than Portugal, which is in an investment phase, all businesses delivered improved results. Bidcorp's declared a final dividend of R6 per share. That takes the total dividend for the year to R11.60, up 6.4% from the prior period. Label Telecoms has staged a turnaround. The prepaid specialist group has reported a more than six-fold jump in full-year headline earnings per share. That's due in part to improved margins thanks to growth in pinless top-ups, prepaid electricity, ticketing and universal vouchers. The improvement comes as the firm is undergoing a significant restructuring process that involves the separation of its telecoms and non-telecoms business units. To reflect this, the group wants to change its name to Blue Label Unlimited. Joint CEO Mark Levy says the change sets the stage for what will come next, a business that is designed to capture growth opportunities. Further to this, the company is looking into what it can do with Cell C. It's proposed separating out the business so that it can be positioned for a possible future listing. Cell C has long been a thorn on the side of Blue Label as it's struggled to turn a profit. But restructuring efforts there have yielded results, so much so that Blue Label has reported a reversal of investment impairment of R1.5 billion during the full year. Curro shares are on a tear. The private education group's stock shot up around 50% in early trade. That's after the company received an offer from the Jannie Mouton Stichting to acquire all its shares. The trust wants to buy the stock via a scheme of arrangement that amounts to R13 per scheme share. The offer includes a cash portion and shares in Capitec and PSG Financial Services. If the deal goes ahead, Curro will delist from the JSE. In the meantime, Curro has opened its books for the 6 months to end June. Headline earnings per share came in flat. That's amid stagnant student enrollment numbers and a R74 million impairment related to land being held for future development. No interim dividend has been declared, which is in line with the company's payout policy. Afrimat says its 2025 financial year was a difficult one, but some green shoots are coming through this year. The mining and materials company has noted improvements across several key areas in the second quarter. These include operational wins at Nkomati and an increase in local iron ore sales volumes. The group will give some indication of how this has impacted its financials in September. Further afield, SpaceX's Starship rocket deployed its first batch of mock Starlink satellites in space and tested new heat shield tiles on its plunge through Earth's atmosphere, clinching development milestones that had been held up by a streak of previous testing failures. Here's more in this detailed report.
SpaceX's giant Starship finally saw success. The 10th test flight of the rocket system saw deployment of a batch of mock Starlink satellites. That was a key demonstration for a rocket that is essential to the firm's future plans for commercial launches. The flight also saw Starship test new heat shield tiles that protect it as it plunges back into the Earth's atmosphere. That is critical, as the ship is supposed to be able to fly again with little or no refurbishment. SpaceX boss Elon Musk had said Monday that developing an effective shield was probably the biggest remaining challenge. Now much is riding on the system's success, besides commercial applications. NASA has chosen it to put astronauts on the moon for the first time since the Apollo program, and it's central to Musk's dream of putting people on Mars for the first time. The test flight concluded with a planned splashdown in ocean waters west of Australia. The ship then exploded in a giant fireball, an expected demise probably triggered by its flight termination system. Now a raft of challenges remain, besides proving the heat shields. That includes demonstrating the ability to refuel the Starship in space. It will also have to show it can stick a safe landing on the Moon's rugged terrain. But after a series of previous test failures, SpaceX will be happy to notch a success.
Meanwhile, European Union targets to cut CO2 emissions from vehicles, including a 100% reduction for cars by 2035, are no longer feasible. Let's take a look for more.
European Union auto groups want changes made to CO2 emission targets. They claim the measures, which include a 100% reduction for cars by 2035, are no longer feasible. That's what leaders from the European Automobile Manufacturers and Suppliers Associations said on. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen is due to host car industry executives on September 12th. They're going to discuss the future of a sector which faces threats from Chinese competition in EVs and US tariffs. Mercedes-Benz CEO Ola Källenius was one signatory to a letter to von der Leyen. It says the industry is committed to achieving the EU's net zero goal in 2050, but warned EU manufacturers now face near total dependency on Asia for batteries. The letter also expressed concern over uneven charging infrastructure, higher manufacturing costs and US tariffs, and said that while EVs can help lead the energy transition, there must also be space for plug-in hybrids, decarbonised fuels, hydrogen and more. The Commission agreed in March to give automakers extra time to meet CO emission reduction targets initially set for 2025. EVs currently account for just 15% of new car sales in the bloc.